And joining me on the debate with GVL Narasimha Rao and Lokesh Jindal are Subhrashta, author and founder of The Churn, and Danish Qureshi, political analyst. And Danish Qureshi, intolerance can't be a one-way street. After all, hate has to be condemned on both sides. How come Kanhaiya's murder on video in Udaipur found very few condemnations? In fact, the entire community of human beings in India should have condemned it. But no, Sar Tan Se Juda has almost become a kind of an anthem in some places among some people, and there isn't enough opposition that is coming in from within the minority community to say ये गलत है, मॉब लिंचिंग होती है, वो गलत है, उसमें हिंदू मुसलमान सिख ईसाई नहीं हो सकता, वो गलत है, एंड ऑफ स्टोरी। इस मुद्दे पर आप इसको गलत क्यों नहीं ठहराते हैं, कम आवाजें क्यों आती हैं, ये सवाल है।
देखिए नाविका, प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि संघ को तो हर उस इंसिडेंट पे आवाज बुलंद चाहिए जो कहीं ना कहीं एंटी माइनॉरिटी पिक्चर बनाने के लिए उनको काम में लगती है। मैं आपको कल की बात बताता हूं। गुजरात के खेड़ा में गरबा में पथराव करने वाले जो आरोपी थे, उनको गुजरात की पुलिस ने जिस तरीके से सांप्रदायिक रुख अपना के मारा, क्या मोहन भागवत जी ने उसका कंडेम किया? आपको पता है, पब्लिक प्लेस पे लाके उनको मारा, और दूसरी तरफ की कम्युनिटी के जो लोग थे उनके पास से मतलब जैसे चेयर अप करवाया जा रहा था, जय श्री राम के नारे लगाए जा रहे थे। व्हाट इज दिस?
किसी को भी
व्हाई दिस इज बीन नॉट कंडेम्ड बाय मिस्टर भागवत?
Nobody is allowed to take law into their own hands, but let's get a sense of proportion.
Yes, absolutely. These are the crocodile tears. आप यही कहेंगे कि nobody is allowed it. The same response is from me that the incident in Udaipur, nobody is supporting that incident. That is the true fact. But what is in the heart of RSS, that is the main thing. In Bet Dwarka, more than 15 shrines are being demolished by the administration without any prior notice, without the order of the Nagar Palika. They are doing anti-constitutional demolition drive. Why did Mohan Bhagwat didn't condemn that? Why did Mohan Bhagwat ji didn't condemn the incident of Murad Sayyid Baba Dargah in Porbandar with demolished in the early morning 3 a.m.? Why this has been done?
GVL Narasimha Rao.
Did Mohan Bhagwat ji condemn that?
GVL Narasimha Rao, respond to Mr. Danish Qureshi.
These are the number of issues.
I think it is this kind of senseless,
and they.
Can
yes,
you
Danish Qureshi ji jawab de rahe hain. Just hold on for a minute. Allow Mr. Narasimha Rao to respond to you. Allow him to respond to you. Allow him to respond to you, Danish Qureshi ji.
Navika ji, see, Honorable Navika ji, in today's speech, Sarsang Chalakji has given a message of unity. And look at the language that Mr. Qureshi is speaking on the show. Sarsang Chalak, what did he say? He said, we have to stay together and we have to act, we have to speak against all such acts of violence, all such acts of barbarism. But then there is some kind of a mindset in this country, mainly fueled by some political parties. I think this has also become a sort of appeasement. Minority appeasement. If Hindus are killed, if they are killed in a brutal manner, if they are beheaded, it is somehow justified. It is considered a pujari who is killed in Karnataka hacked to death. It's justified because he belonged to a particular ideology. If a tailor is hacked to death in Jaipur, Haryana, or in Rajasthan, it is justified. I think, please, Sarsang Chalakji said we have to stay together and condemn all acts of violence. And while what are you doing on this show today? You're again trying to really play a victim card while trying not to. Why don't you condemn all acts of such barbarism against Hindus? Just as the way I would condemn all acts of violence against Muslims. Please do it, Mr. Qureshi. Please say, I condemn all acts of violence against Hindu brethren. Please say that. Even if they belong to Hindu ideology, RSS ideology, what's wrong about it? I have no hesitation in saying it, but you would run away from debate because you want to justify violence against Hindus.
Well, we lost his link there. Lokesh Jindal, you know, that is the issue. That is the issue, that when it comes to condemning something like this, we always have caveats. Can there be a caveat to the incident of Kanhaiya in Udaipur? Can there be a caveat? I mean, it is unacceptable, period. And the way it was filmed, I've never seen anything as scary and grotesque as that. I mean, then where is the difference between human beings and maybe animals? Even animals probably show more restraint. So I'm asking you, can you quote a few incidents that happen and then say, oh, India has become intolerant? Bhai, to ye bhi to intolerance tha na? Condemn this also.
Yes, I agree, Navika. All forms of violence, whether it is lynching of Muslims by Gau Sevaks, Gau Rakshaks, whether it is some form of a incident like Kanhaiya's assassination, they are all horrible. They are a slap to the society, and in fact, that is not the way a civilized society ought to function. They are to be condemned. But the point is, when a leader such as Mohan Bhagwat ji, when he comes on the stage, such a national leader, and he selectively pinpoints one incident and he ignores other incidents. Now, this is like painting a picture which is showing only one side of the coin, one side of the story. Now, he also needs to make the society aware that let us be tolerant, let us observe tolerance from all angles. Let the Muslims be safeguarded, Hindus be safeguarded, Sikh, every community, people from any religion, caste, race, region, everywhere, they must feel that they are secure within the political, administrative, legal system of the country. That's what is expected from a leader of such a stature. But when such a leader, he becomes selective and points out only one incident, it is like creating a narration. It is like creating a picture.
Subrashta, did you find Mohan Bhagwat ji's speech as selective, quoting only one incident, or was it really talking about across the board condemnation of such incidents, and picked up this because there wasn't enough condemnation of this particular incident by the entire community? And number two, Sartan Se Juda has virtually become an anthem, so to speak, in the minority community, and it is gaining now dangerous proportions.
Navika ji, first of all, Dashera greetings to everybody. As we celebrate this really historic and celebratory day today, let us remember that what Mohan Bhagwat ji said today is what majority of India feels. It's from the pulse of people that he drew, whatever tenets his speeches contained, they're all drawn from the pulse of people. Now, there have been questions asked about why an isolated incident was mentioned. You have very clearly said, you've very clearly elucidated why. I would just put another context to it. Please remember, during the time when the whole Kanhaiya Lal incident happened, there was a point in time in India's political history when riots were being inflamed, and consciously, it was as if a conscious curation of these incidents were happening in different parts of the country. We will never forget what happened in Kanpur, preceding Friday, exactly after Kanhaiya Lal's death. We can never forget what happened in Haryana. We'll never forget what was about to happen on the streets of Delhi. So this is not an incident which was cherry-picked. This was an incident which had really polarized society on multiple counts. And RSS, as the world's largest, non-government run organization, I think has every right to comment on an incident which had such epic proportions. Now, today also on this very show, what Mr. Danish said is extremely... Sir, I'm not yet done, and I did not intervene when you were speaking. Please respect women. As Mohan Bhagwat ji said, allow me an equal opportunity. 3 men have spoken on the show. No, sir, you are not the moderator of the show, sir. If you were the moderator,
Lokesh Jindal, please do not interrupt. Please do not interrupt.
No, I'm really sorry, Navika ji. If he doesn't shut up, I can't speak.
No, you carry on. I'm lowering the faders. I'm lowering everyone else's faders. Nobody's voice will be drowned here. Subhrashta ji, carry on.
Yes, an extremely ludicrous equivalence was drawn between something that has happened in Gujarat, which is equally, worrisome, and it needs condemnation from all sections of society. What happened in Gujarat with respect to the incident that was mentioned by Mr. Danish. But Mr. Danish, please remember that when you are comparing these two incidents, it's like comparing apples and oranges. There was a tailor from a lower middle class community who was actually lynched over live camera, and here we are talking about another incident which has a precedent. Of course the police, one can question the role of the police and how it behaved in front of a whole motley crowd, but then the point is that the people who were being incarcerated on the streets were not innocent people either. They had created ruckus at Garba at that Garba festivity. So please let us, when you start comparing things, at least apply your brain. Put facts in perspective.
Danish Qureshi, you want to respond to that? You want to respond to that, Danish Qureshi?
Yes, why not? Yes. Yes, why not?
So what do you have to say?
Now, first of all, Mr. Subhrashta is talking about that the people, those who are beaten in public, they were the accused. Can Subhrashta ji show me a single judgment when court has convicted any accused and told the police to go the beaten in public place? What rubbish he is talking on national channel? These are the people those who are penetrating hatred in the society.
That's not what she is saying.
They are being charged.
We started with condemning. She started with condemning the police taking law into their own hands.
Exactly. She talked if and but, and after that she was talking that they were not innocent people. If they were not innocent, then it is the
auditory.
Remember one thing.
Now this
don't interrupt Subhrashta. Nobody was interrupting you. Subhrashta, nobody interrupt you. Nobody interrupt you. Don't do like this. Don't do like this.
Danish Qureshi. 1 minute, allow me to come in. I'm running out of time. The question here is, are we twisting facts to make it sound like what suits our narrative? Is that what is being done about the Kheda incident? And is this deliberately being raked up to show that, well, one community is being targeted more than the others? Well, the question here is, when Udaipur and Kanhaiya's incident are taken up, remember, that happened on live camera, and that is not about communities. That is about human beings and whether we really are a race higher than animals. The question is, we don't have to prove this with our religion being worn on our sleeves. This has to be proved on whether we are humans at all or not. And that's where we should think about. If we are talking about intolerance, then please don't make it a one-way street and don't compare the incomparables. For us, the fabric of India is destroyed when we make these differences. Because for me, Mr. Danish Qureshi is as much a fellow Indian as Subhrashta ji. They come from different backgrounds, they come from different religions, they come from different states, but then that's the beauty of India. Why do we forget this? Why can't we remind ourselves about this often enough? It's the only thing that we're asking on the NewsHour tonight. Thank you very much to all my panelists, and thank you viewers for joining me on this joyous Dashera Day. Good night, be safe.